Hey, welcome to PODnas. This is a sports podcast with a Cajun flair. We are going to be going over all things draft today. LSU guys that went in the first round, the insane quarterback night that we just had, and more. I'm Daniel Hawks. This is Jarrett Roser. I always do the wrong way on that. This is
Yeah,
Jarrett Roser.
every time.
Well, we're starting off great. So, Jarrett, how you doing?
Good, man. I mean, NFL draft time. I'm about to hit the air and go out to OT7 with some Louisiana guys for, some of the last 7-on-7 action of the spring, and then get into spring football when I get back. So can't complain, bro.
Make sure you get some good highlight reels. We'll show them on here next time, right? I think we should do that. That's for another pod. Let's get into it, man. Last night it was the NFL draft. The start of this now, like, epic, almost business week long event that we have instead of just one day. Remember when it used to be one day? I know I sound old when I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like you tuned in on Saturday and it was done. It was done. I remember being in New Orleans listening to the draft, like in the fifth or sixth round. I was like driving around and I had on the radio. I was just listening to it. And then it started that day. Now I see whenever they put on on the clock, because Buffalo's on the clock for the start of round 2, I was like, well, I get so tripped out every single time.
Yeah. Well, even during the first round, when they throw on the clock on the screen, you're like, all right, well, I guess I've got a good half an hour to burn to go watch an episode of TV or whatever before anything actually happens. It's so drawn out.
It is. Yeah. I can't anymore. I was glad I was in a bar last night watching it because I don't know if I could have taken all of the analysis over and over again. But let's talk about these LSU guys that went. Got Jaden going to the Commanders. Malik is going to be in New York. And then Brian Thomas went to Jacksonville. What are your thoughts on each of those fits? Who do you think can kind of break through and show first? So who do you think maybe has some challenges to overcome?
Sure. Yeah. I hung tough with the draft last night through BT getting drafted and then decided, okay, it's playoff basketball time now. And I'll just watch the draft tracker on my computer. And just, I mean, excited for all those guys to get their opportunities. Obviously, Brian, by nature of going so much later than the other two, who, Jaden and Malik become the first quarterback receiver duo from the same school to go in the top 6 of the same draft, which was nice. Just another kind of historic feather in the cap for NFLSU. But Brian going a little bit later in the first round inherently sticks him in much better circumstances to go play with Trevor Lawrence and make an impact for a team that won a playoff game 2 years ago, was in the hunt for a playoff spot this year, came just a game shy. And so
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm glad BT's going there because nothing just said everyone in the world last year was like, y'all are going to lose that last game and miss the playoffs. And they were like, no, we'll come out to play. They didn't. So maybe bring a little bit of that not Clemson atmosphere into the
I'm very interested to see, because everything that Brian checks athletically in terms of a tall, fast receiver that can make any catch anywhere on the field. They actually referenced it on the NFL draft broadcast, his basketball background and his ability to go up and get high passes. I started to say go up and get balls and decided to, pre-pause myself. But anyway, Brian.
Yeah, that's the clip. That's the clip.
Can be a huge playmaker for them if he, goes in confident and plays up to his talent. It took him a little while at LSU to reach that potential this past fall, and hopefully he just kind of continues to carry that momentum right on into the NFL. The two guys that went in the top 6, it was interesting. There was all the buzz of Jaden Daniels and does he want to go to Washington? Would he rather be elsewhere? Wouldn't be surprised if we truth serumed him, if he wouldn't have been happier to go to Vegas, both from circumstances and the coaching connection with Antonio Pierce, and also just being, out west close to home and whatnot. But I don't know that if I'm those guys, I'm not more worried about the organization that I'm going to as Malik and not knowing what the hell the quarterback situation is. I know the Giants finished a game or two better than the Commanders this past fall, but I think Malik has a chance to be the best receiver in the draft. But
I do too, man.
Ultimately, what is going to happen elsewhere around you on that roster in New York, and how aggressively will fans and media turn on everyone involved if the team doesn't kind of get it together. And
so here's my prediction. It's wild out of left field. The Dak stuff goes on till this summer, and I think Dak pulls a Saquon and signs with the Giants. At least that's what I'm wish casting. That's what I want to see.
That would, just as someone who has really no like dog in the hunt or fight or whatever in NFC East politics, it's an awful lot of fun to watch that often dumpster fire play out between the fan bases, and that would be phenomenal kindling to that for sure.
If I have to, because here's the thing, we're gonna on national media, we're gonna have to listen about the NFC East like every single week. So if I have to watch this, which I don't have to, but I'm going to, let's make it a little spicy for me. Okay, let's add on to this NFL drama. I agree with you though. I think everything you said kind of rings true. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, just little throwaway note. If that hypothetical were to happen, I would certainly support the Houghton to Lafayette, Louisiana versus all y'all connection in the Big Apple of Dakota and Malik. But we'll see.
I would love that. Moving on. Six QBs were taken.
Yeah, there you go. You got it right on the live run.
Yeah, the pre-show taping, whatever we call it, did not. I said 5 because I forget JJ McCarthy. I just forget him as a human. It's not like anything. I don't have any poor things to say about the man. I just I literally several times during this draft process and like leading up to the draft, his name was mentioned. I was like, oh yeah, he's a guy. He's a guy. So obviously Caleb, Jaden, Drake were 1, 2, 3 off the board, and then Atlanta surprised everyone,
yeah, including their own quarterback they just signed a month ago, who put out through his agent that he was stunned that they took a quarterback at 8.
Yeah.
I stretched wow into about 8 syllables when I heard Michael Penix Jr. at 8 to the Falcons. And not a knock on Penix, who I really enjoyed as a college football player.
He was going to be there today.
Yeah. I was so confused by the team that took him and the place in the draft.
Well, and for a team that has nothing on defense, like of note. Yeah. Like, and the kid from UCLA, I don't want to butcher his name, Leolatu or Leolatu. Didn't do as bad as I thought. He was sitting out there. I mean, and they need anything on defense, like any playmaker on defense.
I had a bet in for Byron Murphy to go 13 or better, and thought that the Falcons, whether they took Murphy or took one of the edge rushers, would kind of start a little bit of a defensive move and Murphy would get in there. But instead, we go 14 straight picks to start the draft with offense. And you mentioned the 6 quarterbacks in the first 12 picks. 6 is the most in the first round, tying 1983 with Marino and LVAY and all those guys. Don't know that this is going to be as successful of a quarterback draft as 83, but
Bo Nix, like seriously. Also,
hey, Sean Payton said he sees Patrick Mahomes in Bo Nix, that he couldn't relive the Saints missing on Mahomes by not being more aggressive. And so, good luck. Big like hypothetical shoes, I guess.
That's just like the Denver situation is no situation I want to walk into. Like, because at least like if you're Drake May And the Patriots, they have no support for him, but he's not going to start this year. Or at least I don't think he should. Or at least not for, at least first half of the year. Like Jacoby Brissett can handle things fine. Let the 21-year-old like develop. Like Jaden has 2 stud wide receivers. He's also got Eckler in the background now to like help him. Caleb is going into a great situation. Michael Penix is going into a great situation. McCarthy, I forgot about him again. McCarthy is going into a really good situation. That Denver situation is rough, with a capital RUF.
Yeah. If you had looped in for some reason, not that it would have made sense, but the LSU guys or Bo Nix and whose situation / how, what challenges are ahead for some of these guys, I would have least liked the Bo Nix situation in Denver, but I don't know what to make of the Penix and Nix picks. Just both seemed like reaches, and there's a lot of different dynamics at play with both of those. The thing that was crazy, the Penix deal was crazier to me just because they just unloaded so much money on Kirk Cousins again a month ago, and then Terry Fontenot, which, another Louisiana native, bless him, wish him well, I guess, even though he's in Atlanta again now, a Lake Charles native, former Tulane player. But his quote of, hey, if Penix doesn't have to play for 4 or 5 years, and that means we're in a great situation, but that means you didn't use that pick for something to help the quarterback.
And also, by that time, he's going to be. I was cursed. Nice. I caught myself. Nice. He's going to be 30. He's going to be over 30.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about an injury concern rookie quarterback who is older than most of his peers. And so at that point, when you look at how much NFL teams typically try to build around either, okay, do we have a rookie contract quarterback that we can bolster with our money elsewhere, or do we have these key rookie pieces to put around, or key rookie contract pieces to put around our expensive quarterback? And Atlanta has gone all in on the rookie quarterback with the expensive quarterback in a span of about 5 weeks, and both with injury concerns. And I just don't know, man. I wish him well as like a good dude, and also just not wanting people to get hurt in general. But I don't know that it made a lot of sense to me. More so even than the Knicks deal, but both were huge reaches.
Yeah. And I feel like that's always the takeaway when we get to the draft is the teams that did like the WTF moments. So Atlanta, Denver, thank you. We appreciate it, or else we'd just be talking about nothing.
I think Denver's thanking Atlanta for making that pick and making we could
do this. Oh, we could do this. Okay, cool. Lastly, I want to touch on this. Saints lose. They lose James Hurst. He announced his retirement from the NFL. We can edit that. And then they go and grab an offensive lineman, the kid from Oregon State.
Hold on, say his name now.
Nope.
It's something along the lines of Taliese Fuaga. Let's just say Fuaga.
I'm putting it right here, guys. I'll edit this later. Right here.
Taliese Fuaga, or close to that.
I just call him my boy, my dog. My PODna.
I like it.
I mean, yeah, it's what we need if we're gonna have all this dead cap around Derek Carr's contract. Might as well try and keep the man upright. So
yeah,
for all those throwaways that he's gonna have.
I was hoping for Fashanu, who obviously the Jets took a few picks earlier. But everything that we see, just the highlight package and whatnot, and hearing some of the people that have been close to Fuaga and what he brings to the table as just a football dude in the room that is going to go to work and whatnot, but also his consistency as a blocker is all super intriguing. And I thought, honestly, while the trenches aren't often as sexy as some of the big wide receiver picks or quarterbacks or whatever, that the Saints needed to take either some protection for quarterback or bolster the defensive line. And so I was looking at Byron Murphy or one of these big tackles, and they got in there and got one of these big tackles.
Well, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it sures that up for a decade, because that's one of those things when you get a good left-right tackle, you don't let them go. So, that is the draft. I think before we go, also I was looking at fits from last night.
Got to.
And yeah, half the people I think could have I think you could pull off, or at least I was like, that's something that Jared would wear.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that Caleb outfit, I could totally see you rocking the Caleb outfit.
Yeah, I like that. That was clean. Andrew Lopez texted me at texted a group of us whatever point late last night and said Terry and Arnold has got to be Jared's favorite player of the night off of outfit, and I just responded in all caps, Lank. I loved the pink shiny suit with the bow tie for sure. But yeah, honestly, if I was picking a winner from my style perspective, it would probably be him, even though, an Alabama guy. And I'm sure based off outfit alone, he's going to have a fantastic NFL career, because the confidence to pull that off is what I want in my cornerback.
And with the name on the inside, that's whenever anyone does anything on the lining of the jacket, I'm always like, I'm in. Give it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Malik with his LSU tribute. I loved the actual, the Terry and Arnold actual outside attire, the best of anyone though.
Yeah, for sure. And Marvin Harrison had that nice chain on his dad. That was cool. I said that I was like, look at that little nice chain that he had. That's so adorable.
Yeah. It's like an 80-year-old grandmother. Like, look at Junior just doing Pops proud.
Oh my God. Hey, we had a lot of fun today. We're going to be back soon. We're going to put stuff in the socials. We're getting to Instagram. We're going to get there. Don't worry about it. And we're progressing as we go. But shout us out in the comments. Let us know what you think. If you disagree with some of our takes, if you want to let us know what you think about the NFL draft, we want to hear from you. That is
if you are Bo Nix's family and take great issue with any of this, sure. In the comments.
We almost did really well, and I want to be perfectly clear when I say this. I don't give a if you're Bo Nix family. Come at me. I'll bleep it. All right. That is all we got for you today. So, PODnas out.